Hello everybody and welcome to our announcement of this year's Maureen O'Hara Award from Kerry International Film Festival. It's been a remarkable few years for Killarney's Jessie Buckley, with stellar performances in Chernobyl, Beast, Wild Rose, and I'm Thinking of Ending Things. She's the recipient of this year's award. Congratulations, Jessie.
Thank you.
As an actress and a Kerry woman, what does receiving the Maureen O'Hara Award from the Kerry International Film Festival mean to you?
Oh, it means so much. It means, I don't know, when your own people and your own country get behind you and say, you're doing all right, kid. that means a lot.
And of course, Maureen O'Hara has represented Ireland on the world stage for so many decades, one of our most loved and respected actresses. Is there a performance from her that you most enjoy, or what are your memories of seeing her work on screen?
God, she's kind of like the legend that's kind of swarmed around Ireland and Irish women, I guess, since I can remember. She kind of epitomizes the emotional and strength and beauty of what womanhood is and what a woman from Ireland is. And whatever I've watched her in, I've always loved her. Yeah.
And such a trailblazer, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Off over there in a different time, and
oh yeah, we've all been trying to kind of recreate her incredible hair for
Can we go right back? It feels appropriate that we should go back to Killarney or back to Kerry, given the festival we're talking about. Can you tell us maybe when you first thought about acting and music as a possible way of a livelihood and a living, and if you grew up in an environment where it was possible to consider it as a career?
Oh God, I mean, I was incredibly lucky to grow up in a house where both my parents have just the most utter respect and admiration for art, whatever it is, whether it's music or art or poetry and literature and films and theatre. So I felt like from a really young age, probably even when I was in a nappy, it was something that was given real importance and a kind of, it was a gift, and my mom's a singer and a harpist, and I have really strong memories of recognizing the power of what she was doing, even in our small community, and when she sang or when she told stories with song, it had a really profound effect. People would come up and have belonged to whatever she was singing to. And I kind of, looking back, that was probably my first time I felt, God, I want to be able to do what she does for people in some shape or form. And my dad, he always wrote poetry and was kind of, he's a great character. He'd always kind of, and he still does, come down into the living room with some mad character that he's kind of fooling around in. So there was great play and fun with all of that stuff when we were growing up. And then I kind of, the minute I could get involved in the local musical society, and that kind of took on a whole other form for me. And I mean, I just thought it was magic. I actually couldn't quite believe that it wasn't not real, to the point where I remember going to see Jesus Christ Superstar in the Oris Podrick Town Hall in Killarney, and I was so convinced that the man who was playing Jesus had actually died on the cross at the end, at the end of the show, that I was inconsolable. My mom had to bring me back to, tell me that Paddy from down the road was alive and well.
How old were you then? Can you remember?
Oh God, I must have been about 5 or 6, but it was very real for me. Like, what I watched was the magic of it really was real for me. There was kind of not much of a line between both those worlds. Um, yeah, so I don't know when I actually thought, oh, I will actually go and do this. But I feel like from when I was probably walking, it was something that I just always loved being part of, and yeah, playing.
So the power of a song and the power of a story was in your DNA from very early on, by the sounds of it. Were there any
Yeah.
particular songs or stories that are in part of your memory, or that you resonated with?
There's nothing particular. I mean, there's moments like, I guess something that, and still is, that I love hearing my mom sing, and it also is a moment of when I come home every year, is when she sings "Oh Holy Night" on Christmas Eve. And she sings it like she's going to die after it, you know, and it's really incredible, and she really moves people. So that's something that I really, yeah, and it also means I'm home when I hear that.
Oh, that's lovely. And what a power of a song that is, yeah. You mentioned Killarney Musical Society there. When did you first get involved with them, and were there people in there, or a sense of community there that fostered your hopes of developing a career, maybe?
God, I think I probably got involved when I was about 7 or 8. I mean, to be honest, by 7 or 8, you don't know if you don't have any kind of objective to live beyond tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I wasn't fostering any career. I was just trying to make sure I didn't bump into Rory Ward when I was doing the dancing. But even then, I think we did, I can't remember, maybe it was Joseph or something like that. And I remember actually my appendix burst on one of the shows that we were doing, and I was in so much pain. But I just didn't want to leave. I didn't leave until after the show finished, even though I think I was probably in massive pain on stage. And then I called mom and was like, I think I probably need to go to hospital. So I don't know what that says about what I look for in work now.
I think you can literally say you left it all on stage that day anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah.
How has lockdown been? How has the last 6 months been? Where did you get to spend it? Did you get to go home?
I did, yeah. Actually, I was in Chicago at the time when the world closed. And so I flew straight home to Ireland, and I spent 6 weeks in Killarney, and that was actually lovely. You know, we live at the bottom of Mangerton Mountains, so the lockdown is it was nice. It was nice to be back in nature, and it was nice to be back with my family, and then I had to go back to London after 6 weeks. So I was in London then for the rest of the summer. And yeah, the world has slowly started to find a way to adapt and open up again. So I've been back to Chicago, and now I'm in Greece in quarantine number 2 for the next 2 weeks, so that I can film.
Okay, is that the new Maggie Gyllenhaal you're in Greece for? Yeah, brilliant. And how's quarantine? Is it like, I've been talking to a lot of actors over the summer, and I feel like they're better equipped maybe than a lot of people to adjust to kind of periods of isolation or periods of being quiet. Because that's kind of part and parcel of what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Some days, to be honest, in lockdown, it's I find it emotional. Like some days you're absolutely fine, you know, and you're going, oh, the virus has been really great for me. Like you can kind of think this is just such, you know. And other times it hits you sideways, and you're kind of an emotional mess. And I feel like that's kind of, and I just kind of, whatever comes out is fine. You know, you'll get up tomorrow and it'll be different. But the quarantine, I find the few days of it the hardest, because it feels like never ending. You know, you just start going, Jesus, But yeah, I guess we're kind of used to it in a way. And with work, you have to kind of you have to give yourself purpose, a lot of the time. And to be honest, it's quite nice to have the time 2 weeks before you shoot to just actually be, and not kind of be launched into something after a day of landing, being jet lagged. You get to, I feel like I can kind of take my time to get my head around things, and read, and I'm incredibly lucky. First and foremost, I'm very lucky to be able to be back working and do something that I love, and be back with people and the crews that are incredible, and what production companies have managed to achieve and actually get things going again is amazing. So and I'm healthy. So if it means I have to stay inside for 2 weeks, I can manage.
It's worth remarking on, isn't it? Because I think even a matter of months ago, we were wondering how film and television was going to get back into production, how it was going to work. And there was so much firefighting to be done, but people really have been remarkable in how they've adjusted, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a scary time right at the beginning for all my friends who are in the arts, whether they were musicians or, people in theatre or film, and it still is scary. There's a lot of people who are still out of work, and you're kind of, there's an uncertainty of what's going to happen on the other side of this, and what will survive this hard time. But yeah, it's encouraging to feel that things are starting again, and that there is possibility. And I guess what I feel the most grateful about is, outside of the crowd, it's a moment of change, and there is chaos, but out of chaos always comes change. And I can only think that is a positive thing. And it's up to us in the arts and us as people in the world to imagine the world that we want to step back into after, from the cement house that we're in at the moment, and what we want to create, and change the habit that has been up to this point. So I feel like that's our job now.
Can I take you back to 18-year-old you when you went off to London?
All right.
I know I wouldn't like to do it either, but here I am asking.
At least you didn't ask about 15-year-old me. That's
the next question. She went off to London, and she, am I right in saying, I've seen this so often that I feel the need to check it. Did you go to do an audition in London that same weekend for drama school? Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I was applying for musical theatre, and I didn't get in. And then there was the open audition thing, and I had another drama school audition coming up in a few days' time. So I kind of went just to practice, and then things happened.
They surely did. How did you feel at the time? Was that very exciting for you, having, I suppose, had a disappointment so recently? Was it very exciting for you, and were you blissfully unaware of how much coverage you were going to get, and what a big show that was?
Oh yeah, I didn't have a clue. Which is probably my saving grace. I was just, life is full of ups and downs, and what's meant for you doesn't pass you by. And but I honestly, at the time I couldn't quite believe that something that I thought was near impossible, and if not would take at least 50 years of my life to even get a chance to be part of something that I love doing so much, happened like that I had no motive apart from just experience it and try and do my best. And I was so young and raw and useless, to be honest, most of the time. But that was the kind of beauty of it, you kind of you were burning off kind of raw energy and just not knowing anything, which is great. I didn't know about business. if somebody, I would have done it for not for nothing. Like it didn't matter to me at that point. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
In what ways do you think it encouraged you at that point in your life?
I guess, God, I don't know. I guess it just, I still probably had the same fears. I still have the same fears and doubts of myself. And every time I go and do a job now, I still have that collision of both excitement and fear that this time someone will find out or I won't catch something, you know. But I guess it gave me I guess just the sheer courage to just get out and do it was the thing. And you know, despite your fear, you still manage to do it, you know. Fear is just another thought, and each week you kind of, or each day you just put another foot forward, and that you build your own courage from your own actual courage in doing the thing.
Yeah, yeah. And you formed a very successful stage career on the back of that. And I know Andrew Lloyd Webber was a big fan, and I think you're still in contact with him, aren't you? And people are inclined to be put in boxes though in this profession. And I was wondering, like, did you always have ambitions towards screen acting? Or did you see yourself in those days as having a stage career, or did you think it was possible to consider both?
I definitely, when I was young, didn't even think it would be an inch of a possibility that I would end up doing film, right? That just existed in another land for me, you know, like movie stars. Movie stars were in movies, not like the one at the bottom of the road. So I, you know, my peripheral vision growing up was theater, you know. It was the community of the theater, and putting red dots in between your eyes, and, you know, wearing costumes and being on stage and having an audience. So that was my understanding, and that's what I knew, you know. I had a sense of what that was, I guess. So I would, and I love it, and I miss it, and it will always be part of, you know, what I still want to experience. But I don't know, to be honest, like, I don't really care what medium it is. I just like people. I like humans. I like their madnesses. I like their strengths. I like telling their stories, and whether that's in a play or in film or singing a song, I just like, I like that. I like all of it, and I like being creative. And I feel like all these people that have crossed my paths in whatever medium it is have taught me something about myself and taught me something about the world that I didn't know. And that's what drives me. I actually don't really care what medium it is in.
Yeah, and it's universal, isn't it? It shouldn't matter. So yeah.
No.
I'm thinking about a few of the women you've played though in recent years in films like Beast and Wild Rose, and in the new Charlie Kaufman, which is just wonderful. I'm looking forward to talking to you a bit more about. But they're nice women of different colours and different places where they could go. Are they the kind of roles that draw you and attract you?
Yeah, I mean, the more complex, the more delicious. But I think every person and every character has got nuance, you know. You just have to, like, flesh it out and make them be human, you know. There's even the quietest human they've got lots going on inside them. So I guess I'm attracted to something that's human, and not the veneer of what human is. I admire people who are brave enough to show that, or like artists who paint or make music, or that actually speak to that actually manage to talk about something that's true about being a human, because like you said, it's full of lots of colors. It's never just an aesthetic beauty. It's never just like a, pink bow, of anything. I like all the things.
Yeah, yeah. Veneer is a great word, because that's what you get so often in storytelling. But and then, does preparation help you in that regard? Are you a person who likes to do their homework?
Yeah, I like yeah. You gotta be curious in this game, because you never know what might inspire you, or like how it might show up in your work. So it's not homework. Like for me, it's part of like the ingredients that you put into the pot to like create something. Like you have to create something. Otherwise it's just on a piece of paper. And whatever inspires me in that, and it always is different. I don't have a process. I think every job requires me to look at something or look for something different, and that's joy. Is you like become a kind of, you just start, I don't know, and as well, once you start thinking in the mind of a person, you start seeing things differently, like things just look different.
I'm thinking in particular your work on Chernobyl. Congratulations on that, it was fantastic. You're playing someone who lives and who has lived, and does that bring another dimension to what you're trying to do as an actor when you're playing someone who has lived?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that whole story is, it's so powerful and important. And when I think I'd always like probably lots of us had heard the word Chernobyl, but I didn't fully understand the depth of what that word meant until I'd met this character and the scripts that Craig Mazin had written and Johan had directed. And I guess I felt a responsibility to be as honest about the reality of this woman's life and that moment as I possibly could. I'm
thinking of endings, Jessie. What a film! It's just wonderful. Thanks for it, first of all.
No.
When you get a call from people, for representatives telling you they want you to be in the new Charlie Kaufman, what's that like? And what was your first response when you read his script?
Well, firstly, it's a shock. And I think I just come back to Dublin for Christmas, so in my mind I was just going to go and have a glass of wine and switch off from the world. And then you get kind of met by this thing, and I had to audition, and I hadn't met Charlie or talked to him yet, so I just read it in one go, and I was so, I mean, I felt so kind of invigorated. Like it was like I had been gifted something that was so rich and unknowable at that point, and something that it just felt like I'd never read anything like that. I'd never read somebody who wrote like that. I'd seen his films, but it's a different experience when you don't know also where the story's going until you're like passing through the pages, and you still don't really know what's going on after you finished it. But I just felt And honestly, I think I had to put myself on tape in like 12 hours. And at that point, when you get a script, you're like, if I just get this script for these 3 days or these 24 hours, and I get to have something like that pass my life, that is the gift in itself. And if it goes beyond any further, then like, geez, I don't know what I'll do with myself. So yeah, it was gorgeous. It was yeah.
It's so beautiful. And I'm not even going to ask you what it's about. I'm going to steal Charlie Coffin's answer and say it's about 2 hours and 7 minutes.
That's perfect.
Can we have a small chat about Wild Rose? It's a film I love so much, and it brought you, I suppose, to unexpected places, didn't it? You ended up working with a band and touring, performing with the likes of Chris Christopherson. Have you been able to continue that, or is it something you'd like to return to at some stage?
Yeah, I mean, that was such a joy to, like, you know, I love musicians and I respect them so much, and to get to work with people like Neil McCall and yeah, it was just an incredible journey to go on. And yeah, like we really, it's very rare where, you know, it's such a rare and special thing when you meet a group of people where you manage to make music that you love making together, you love being together. And anytime we finished a tour or finished the album, we've been like, oh, please don't say that's it. You know, so yeah, who knows. It's definitely so part of my life. I think there was a time when I thought, oh, if I want to do acting, I can't do that, but I don't feel like that anymore. I feel like if you're just being creative in whatever way, then that's a good thing. So we'll see.
And if there's one movie that broke all that down, all those barriers, that surely was that. You co-wrote a lot of those songs as well with Nicole, isn't it?
Yeah.
And have you kept up the songwriting since? Is it something you still tap into?
I have, yeah. And I really enjoy it. Yeah, it's that I didn't definitely expect that. I guess I've always written poetry or, you know, lyrics or whatever. So thanks to my dad, probably. Yeah, but I've really enjoyed like, yeah, tinkering away at it, as we say.
As someone who's desperate for new songs, I'm overjoyed to hear that. Jessie, I'm conscious of the fact that you're working at the moment, so we just want to ask you maybe about a couple of future projects you've got coming up. You spent a bit of time in Chicago filming the new episode of Fargo.
Yeah.
Can you tell us anything about your character in that and what she's about?
I play a character called Orietta Mayflower, and she's from Minnesota. And in this season, it's set in Kansas, so she's the only Minnesotan in the series. And she is a nurse with quite a sweet exterior and a dark interior. She's great fun.
Oh, she sounds exciting. And do you get to go full Minnesota with the accent?
Yeah.
Excellent. And you're also, it's just been announced in the last couple of weeks that you've been cast along with Paul Mescal, I think, another person doing us proud abroad at the moment, in Maggie Gyllenhaal's directorial debut. That's an adaptation, is it? Can you tell us anything about that? Or? Yeah,
it's adapted from this beautiful novel called The Lost Daughter by Elena Ferrante. And it's about motherhood and womanhood and all the good stuff. And I'm really looking forward to it. And Maggie's done the most amazing adaptation, and I think she's going to be a fantastic director. Like, she just feels like a true leader, and she's somebody that, as an actress, I've just absolutely loved and been inspired by, and she's just such an incredible woman. So I just feel I can't wait to work with her. I think it's going to be great. And there's just it's going to be there's lovely people, like you said, Paul and Olivia Coleman's also in it, and Dakota Johnson, and yeah, they just feel like we'll have a good mix of fun, I'm sure, and
yeah,
and hard work.
Brilliant. Well, look, congratulations on receiving the support again from the Kerry International Film Festival. I know they're keeping it safe for you, and they're looking forward to presenting it to you in person. I suppose finally, just to ask if I know you were really delighted when the local cinema in Killarney took steps to show Beast a few years ago now. Are they still chugging away on your behalf at home, or are they still making sure your movies get to be screened at home?
Yeah, thank you, Tommy Cooper. Although Tommy Cooper didn't let me into the cinema because I was underage once. And so he'll have to let me in. Anyway, that's the funny. We can talk about that another time.
I'm dying to know what you wanted to see. What were you going to try and see?
Oh God, it was one of the most embarrassing moments. I think I was going to see Team America or something with my girlfriends, and as you do when you're like 10 or whatever, you go, oh, I'll put high heels on, and they'll just think I'm really grown up. And so we joined the queue, and all the other girls, also I can't lie, or all the other girls got in, and then it came to me, and he was like, what age you? I was like, I'm 15. He goes, no, you're not. And then I goes, I am. And I saw my dad out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, there's my dad. He'll come in and he'll say, he'll tell you that I'm 15. I brought my dad in to tell Tommy Cooper that I was 15. I was like, Dad, tell Tommy Cooper that I'm 15. And he goes, you're not 15. And I died. Me and my dad had the biggest fight out on the street. But anyway, I'm glad, Tommy Cooper. Thank you, Tommy, for bringing my films to this local cinema. You're forgiven. You're forgiven.
He's made up to you since, hasn't he? And I hope you got to see Team America in the end, did you?
I've never seen it.
We'll have to write that. Maybe Killarney, maybe Curry will put it on next year for you.
Yeah. I know, but you know what? It means the world that he does bring my films. Because it's, independent cinema is really hard to make, and it means so much when it gets to be brought to audiences, in small towns like Killarney or wherever, and we need that support. Like we can't continue making these great films without people like Tommy or or the Lighthouse in Dublin who will put on these films. So I'm super, super grateful.
Jessie, thanks. It's been a pleasure as always to chat with you. Thanks
Nice
so
to
much.
see you.
All the best to you. Thanks.
Bye.